Well, week 5 of our 12-week season, it's 1 week at a time, and this was a really tough football game. So proud of the guys' resolve in the second half. We got off to a great start in the first half, did a lot of the things that we had tried to do and planned to do, and get some explosive plays and get up a touchdown. It probably hurt us that we didn't capitalize on a couple of those possessions and get touchdowns. We only got field goals, but they went for it on 4th and 1 at their own 40, I think. That's kind of the thing we talked about the other day in the analytics. We stop them, at least get 3 out of it. And so we're up 13-0, and then we just played really poor in the second quarter. Got out of rhythm on offense, didn't tackle really well on defense after tackling really well in the first quarter. They started blitzing us all the time, and we couldn't get the ground game going. We couldn't get guys free. Adrian was running a little bit for his life, and so I was a little upset. You can ask the guys, I was a little upset at halftime because I thought we let them off the hook a little bit. We could have been up big in the first half, and we lost some momentum, and then we have a dumb penalty, and they get a field goal before half, and it's 13-10, and you're like, how in the heck does this game 13-10? But to challenge the guys at halftime that we were a better football team, and that we needed to rise up and show some resolve, and somebody needed to make some plays, and we needed to stand up in the second half and say, people aren't going to come in here and push us around at home. And we played really well late in the third quarter and then all the fourth quarter. We were able to finally get pressure on the quarterback. Really good player. Donovan Smith's really good player. And Felix was able to get to him. Khalid was able to get to him. We were able to get him to turn the football over. And then, I think they blitzed us so much, we finally found some creases, and when you do blitz like that, you do have a tendency to give up explosive plays, and we had a number of explosives, which we really needed to have because we weren't going to nickel and dime them with as much as they were pressuring us.
How good was Adrian in the running game?
He was really good. I thought our O-line blocked in the run game extremely well, and he was very patient, and when you do blitz and you crack that first line, there's not many kids that can catch Adrian. And he had a couple of explosive plays. Deuce had a couple of explosive plays in times where we had to have it to flip the field.
Is that more like Khalid Duke, what we saw today?
We brought him a lot. I think you guys noticed that. We put him on the line of scrimmage and let him do what he does really well. And then we also dropped him in coverage too to try to help at least some of our tendencies. But I was excited because he had a big smile when we said you're going to get to go rush the quarterback today, and he made some big plays.
On defense, when you look at the stat sheet, you see turnovers, fumbles, interceptions, and sacks. What stands out to you most there?
The turnovers. When you think we get them to turn it over 4 times, plus they went for it on 4th down twice and missed it, that's really like 6 possessions you get. We made some mistakes. Give them credit. I thought their kid made a great play on Echo. Echo's trying to fight him off. He one-hand catch. That was a big-time play by that kid. But we blew a couple coverages and gave up some seam routes that we can't have. And, we got him into a few negative plays, which helped us. And it was one of those things where 82 plays is a little bit too much for us. We played an awful lot of guys. You saw some different players. You saw Gavin Fortier out there. You saw Dez out there. You saw Jacob Parrish out there. You saw a lot of different players. But when it was getting to that big of a play count, plus second half we were having so many explosive plays that we were back out in the field.
Well, was it pretty much just blitzing that took you a while to go from
Yeah.
really nice offensive plays early?
Yeah, that's the main thing is they started bringing the house.
Coach, when Deuce Vaughn fumbles, gets hurt,
Yep.
he's able to come back into the game, has those explosive runs. What's going through your mind?
Just make sure he's okay, and then get him back in the offense and get him the football back. We've talked about it. Having those 2 kids in the backfield is a nightmare for defenses because they both are home run hitters. They're not, get 6 or 7 and that's it. Both those guys, and it's hard to defend us, and we need to find ways when people are pressuring us that much to try to hit the home run and a pass play too. We just, I don't know, we didn't do that, so we ended up sticking with a lot of quarterback run game.
And then you talked about the quarterback run game. Was that kind of the emphasis coming out of the locker room in the second half, was to get Adrian more involved with the play?
I think it started more later in the third quarter. The first play of the game, we creased them on a big run, and then they changed their defense to that play. And then we started hitting some short routes to Cade and Malik and Phil. And then they changed that and said, heck, we're just going to blitz you. And it just took us a while to get it figured out of what run plays were going to be successful.
3 more sacks today for Felix, also a strict fumble, which I think is tied to school record. Just how well is he playing right now?
He's relentless right now. He is really relentless. And it's fun to watch him go to work. And I think he appreciated Khalid being out there with him, because I think it took a little bit of heat off of him. And when both those two kids are coming, sometimes we had them on opposite sides, sometimes we had them on the same side. Those two together are pretty dang good.
Felt like Austin Moore, a heck of a game too.
Yeah.
What's he done for you guys this year?
He's been great. He's just kind of a steady player, makes tackles, doesn't make mistakes. We knew we had to find a way to get him some plays off, and we've been pushing Gavin Forche from a rep standpoint in practice. He started out as a Sam backer. We moved him to Will backer late in fall camp, and feel like we finally have Gavin up to speed that he can play, whether it's 10, whether it's 20, whether it's 30 plays a game, and he's getting a lot better, and he's helping getting Austin some rest.
Coach, after Adrian played so well in Norman, how great was it for you to see him play well here in front of the home crowd?
I was excited for him, and it wasn't easy. This defense is big. They're physical. They run well. It's hard to sustain blocks on them, and I think him getting the explosive play got him into rhythm, and I was excited for him.
It's the first time in school history you've had 2 players with back-to-back 100-yard performances, which is pretty incredible to think about. Are we just seeing the beginning? It's a big focus seeing the beginning of maybe one of the top tandems.
Well, I didn't know that they had 171 and 170. That's a pretty good day that they had. And I know they had a good day last week. I didn't realize it was this. We rushed for 343 yards against a really good run defense, guys. These guys weren't letting anybody rush the football against them. And for us to be able to rush the ball that well, it's a credit to our offensive line, to the play calling, and those guys being patient in their runs and then not getting frustrated with things that weren't working. And then we found ways to get some explosive plays, and then they hit them.
If I could just ask you, from your vantage point, what did you see on Adrian's 69-yard run?
When the play call came in, I was hoping we could get him to the second level, and then I saw the look, and they were pressuring, and once he got to the second level, I think it was just he and Deuce running together, and he can pick him up and lay him down. I think you guys all saw that he's got a second gear. Even on the one play that we got called back for holding, that was a big-time play, and he cut it back, split a couple of guys, and ran, and then unfortunately we had a holding call, and everybody wanted him to run again when he was scrambling out. The kid had just ran 80 yards, and I think he was just trying to get it dumped off. But no, he's a special talent.
Coach, from a perspective of the defense, I know you guys gave up a lot of yards again, and you said that you didn't want to give Texas Tech that many plays. But has the play of your defense through the first 5 weeks maybe exceeded what expectations you had?
No, not at all. We have high expectations, high standards on defense. The players would tell you that. They're probably more disappointed that we gave up 28 points and 400 and some yards, but I promise you they're more excited about the win than they are the yards. And they also, and Coach Klieman and the staff do a great job of emphasizing the positive, whether it's the sacks, whether it's the forced fumbles, whether it's the interceptions, whether it's the 4th down stops. This was a team win, guys. It was an exceptional team win where offense picked up the defense picked up the offense. Chris Dennett came in and made some big kicks. It was a great team win.
And then your secondary continues to seemingly play well. I know that you gave up a little bit more pass yards than you wanted to today, but what kind of play have you seen out of guys like Josh Hayes?
Well, we're playing well in the secondary. I think we can play better. And make no mistake, that's a good offense, and we've faced really good passing offenses the last 2 weeks, and we're going to continue to face really good passing offenses. So we're going to be challenged every week in the secondary, and when you're getting pressure like we're getting with some of our guys, I think it's really impactful and really helps the secondary. But I'm pleased with the way we're playing in the secondary, and I think we can play better.
Coach, at the end of the game,
I didn't. I didn't. I didn't know if they thought there was an inadvertent whistle. I don't know what happened. And then the long conversation on their sideline, they don't give me any information on that. They just kept saying they're continuing to go to replay to see if it was an interception. And I thought it was pretty obvious that it was an interception, so it was taking longer. But even at that point, we needed to get a first down. We needed to get a first down. They still had all their timeouts left, and we needed a big first down, and happy that we were able to get it so that we could get into the best formation in college or NFL or high school football victory.
Did you ever get a chance to talk to Eli Huggins or KT Levison about their injuries?
Nope.
On film, did you see that kind of accuracy from Donovan Smith that you saw today?
At times, yeah, you bet. He's gaining more confidence as a quarterback, and they have some really good receivers, and I like their backs. They've got a really talented offense, and you can't pack everybody up to stop the run. They're too good at receiver, and you can't play everybody back. They're too good at running back. So it's a really good offense that's going to cause a lot of people a lot of problems.
And I've mentioned this before, but how key is the cornerback play for this team to your overall defense?
To the cornerback play, yeah, we need to be able to excuse me. I choked on some water. We have to play man coverage for sure. For our defense to be successful, we have to play man coverage, and we challenge those guys an awful lot by playing man coverage. And you got to understand you're going to give up some plays, but Echo gave up a big play and then came back and made a big time play. I think that was on a 4th down where he knocked the ball away. So you got to be fearless out there. When you give up a play, you just got to come back and be ready to play the next.
Coach, defensively, you guys gave up the yards, but you turned the ball over a few times. How do you build on that?
We emphasize the heck out of it, getting the ball on the ground and interceptions, and bend but don't break at times. They're going to make plays. There's good offenses in this league, and you've got to find ways to get stops.
Coach, big picture. You're
Oh boy, here you don't. D. Scott.
25th in the country. The guys just want to go 1-0 each day. What did this team prove today?
Great resolve today when things were starting off well and then had a lull, and very resilient group. We rose up, and like I told the guys, we got to empty the tank one more week before we get a break. And we're going to go play a really good Iowa State team in Ames, and we've got to put all our chips on for this week, and then we'll get a chance to get a rest.
Anything else? How's Dawson Delforge played?
I was happy he came in and did some things, and came in at a couple of critical situations where we moved the chains or got an explosive play. I can't remember when KT went out, but I know Dawson played a handful of snaps, and excited to see him get some snaps there.
Okay, appreciate it.
Thanks, everyone.
I got after that,